Welcome back. I wanted to show you a couple of drawing games that you can do at home with your kids. These are games that, even though they're fun to play, they also produce some really good therapeutic side benefits. So these are ones that I use all the time in treatment with kids, but you can easily do them at home. The first one is one I call You Can't Wreck My Drawing, and the idea of it is that we want to help be able to tolerate stressors, things that are unpredictable, not getting our own way, and to build resilience and strength against that kind of stuff. So the game is I'm going to make a drawing and I'm going to agree with you since we're playing this game together. I'm agreeing that it's not going to be my best drawing because you're going to wreck it. When you wreck this drawing and it's your turn, you can wreck it any way you choose to, but you just can't make it wet. So you can't use glue or paint or dump water on it, because once you do that, then the game's really over. There's not anything more that can happen. So I'm not going to make my best. Here goes. I'm going to draw something real simple. Drawing some ground. I'll draw, maybe I'll draw like a picnic table in a park. And I'm just doing this real fast. It's not supposed to be my best drawing because I know that you're going to wreck it. And an agreement we'll have together is that when you wreck this drawing, we're still friends. It doesn't change anything. I still feel the same way about you. It's not going to wreck our ability to like each other. So here we go. So here's the drawing I came up with. Very, very simple. I'm giving it to you. You have to wreck it. Now, kids will wreck these in lots of different ways, and one way they might wreck it is they might only stay with what you created. They might just say, okay, I'm just going to add a bird to the tree, or I'm going to put a birthday cake on the table. That would tell you that they really want to stay connected to you. They're not feeling particularly angry. They want to be close, and they don't want to rock the boat too much. But sometimes you'll get kids that really want to get revenge on you, and they will really wreck it a lot. They'll scribble it or poke holes in it, or they might even cut it apart. So let's say it's one of those, and this kiddo is going to scribble all over this drawing and make all kinds of marks all over it. And so when they're done, they give it back to you, and it looks like this. That could be a lot worse than that, to be honest. I'm just doing it quickly. So when you see that, in that moment, I try to be very present with how I actually feel without putting a burden on that kid. But I might say, oh man, that looks pretty wrecked. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I need to think a second about how I'm going to fix this or work on it. So now I have to change this into something that I'm okay with. So I have to tolerate that it got wrecked. And now I have to come up with an idea. I have to become resilient and turn this into something I'm okay with. I didn't sign up for this. What's something I'm okay with? Well, personally, when I look at this, I get a little bit of an idea. I think these orange and red marks kind of remind me of a party or like streamers from a party. So I think what I'm going to do is make sort of a box that's shooting stuff out. I'm thinking about maybe this was a birthday and it was supposed to be like streamers and balloons and things that were going to come out, and the box went off at the wrong time. So everything blasted out of there before it was supposed to. Okay, so I'm doing this very fast. I could spend more time on it if I wanted to, but when you're playing the game, you can do it as much as you want. So can you see how I have a box and some purple balloons shooting out of there? And I'm going to give that back to you. And now your job is to wreck it again if we want to keep playing this game. So let's say you decide to wreck it in a way that's like you're just making a big X across it. I'm canceling this thing out. That's the end of that. And here is what that looks like that. So now you're giving it back to me, and I'm recognizing that you really wanted to get some revenge on me. I might even say that. Well, you wanted to get revenge on me for being able to turn that into something. Now, it may take me a second, and it may take you a second to come up with an idea. And it takes practice to really get this. I happen to have an idea already. The colors red and blue in there gave me an idea, and I think I'm going to put Spider-Man in this drawing. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make kind of a really fast, not perfect Spider-Man. I'm making his feet and arms, and then I'll add the blue parts. You do not ever have to have Spider-Man in your drawings that you make. I'm just doing it for this one. Okay, very imperfect Spider-Man. I could spend more time on it if I wanted to. But Spider-Man, in my mind, he sees that this whole party went wrong. So he's shooting out a web, and he's trying to create sort of a big net to hold all this party stuff in so it doesn't fly away and people can still have a party. So you see how I made Spider-Man shooting a web to contain that? So now I give it back to you and I say you can choose to wreck it again in any way that you want to, and I'm going to have to find a way to, again, work with it. Well, let's say this time you take it and crumple it right up. What am I going to do with that? Well, on one hand, I could say, oh, perfect, now we can play baseball or we can play catch with it. That could be a thing I turn it into. I could reshape it into some sort of a creature that I twist it into. Or I could even open it up and use the wrinkled quality of it to create sort of an old-looking document. Sometimes kids will take it and they'll tear it up, and then they give me the pieces and I have to deal with that. So when they do that, sometimes I will color the pieces in to look old. I'll take crayons or pencils and I'll draw it to almost look like pieces of a treasure map and say, hey, look, we found this old treasure map, and if we just can get the pieces to fit back together, then we'll be able to find where the treasure is. Or they might take a scissors and really cut it up into pieces, and I could turn it into confetti or something else. So your imagination can run wild with this, and so can your kids. It is a lot of fun. It does take some practice to get the hang of. So I hope that you will have fun trying this game at home and enjoy the time that you get to spend with your kids. If you haven't already done this, you can look at some of the previous videos I've posted about building a fort or playing with your kids or saying things like I wonder, so that you can have connection with your kids during this time that has felt so anxious for so many people. I wish you all the best. I hope you're all well. Take care.